Test, test. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today, we arrive in Mexico for round 4 of the DER Season 4 Division 2 World Championship. Taking a look at the driver standings before we start one-shot sprint qualifying. After last race, the driver who I was calling Nathan the entirety of last race, I'm going to be calling him Shiv from now on, the Aston Martin driver. So Shiv is now in first place of the Drivers' Championship with 70 points. In second place, we have the Bartol 4, and in third place, we have Kev the Slice. Moving on to the Constructors' standings, Aston Martin lead the way with 107 points. Behind them is Alpine with 98, and in third place is Ferrari with 82 points. I am feeling a bit unwell today, so I apologize if I'm not at my best. Sprint events are always my favorite because qualifying is really boring as a commentator. And thankfully for the sprint events, it's one-shot qualifying, and then we have loads of racing action to commentate on between the sprint and the race. The only thing with the one-shot qualifying is it's very difficult to spectate. There's this like overlay where it like delays 1 second when switching drivers, and there's also drivers just switching every half second. As you can see on the leaderboard, there's always drivers switching spots because they're all so close together. So currently, though, we're about halfway through the lap. We've got Ishii on provisional pole, Bartofor in second, and Firefly in third. Bartofor makes a jump to first place. Ishii all the way down to 16th, so he must have been validated there. We're on board with Triz, who's currently in 7th place, going through the stadium section now. The final corner, get the power down nice and easy. And up to the line, the Bartofor takes pole position with a 1 minute 14.873. So there we have it then. The Bartol 4 is on pole for the sprint race, 1 minute 14.783. Behind him, we've got Kev the Slice, Firefly, King Papa, Super Sean, Triz, Milo, Expedito, DJ Lawson, Roberto, Motion God, Pixel Cookie, Queasy, Blue Dark, Mohammed, Shiv, Ishi, and Wazab. Got a full grid today. So looks like cloudy conditions for the 12-lap sprint race. It's not, Mexico isn't prone to rain, but obviously it is a possibility. So maybe we'll see some rain for the feature race qualifying or even the race itself, which always spices things up. If you missed last week's race, be sure to check it out on the DER YouTube. It's a thrilling battle for the lead out at Silverstone. Now we only have 18 drivers. I wonder what happened. Let's take a look at the tires. I'm sure mediums, if I had to guess, I think mediums would be optimal. And it is mediums. Every single driver is on them. So I was expecting to see some soft compound runners, some people going for the bold strategy if they think they can take the tires to the end, but everyone seems to have gone for the predictable medium tires. So the Bartol 4, currently second in the Drivers' Championship, has a big opportunity here to make up some ground on Shiv, who's down in 16th. Of course, this is only the sprint, so the amount of points available aren't as high as the actual race, but all the points count. We're getting set here. All the drivers are pulling up to their grid slots. Five red lights on ahead of the drivers. Roberto has a drive-through penalty, and so does Pixel Cookie. It's lights out, and away we go. What a start for Roberto. He must have jumped the start, but he's up into the lead. The Bartol 4 stays ahead of the Ferrari and Firefly. As we go down to turn 1, Kev the Slice, some good overspeed. Down the inside goes the Ferrari. Side by side. They keep it nice and neat and tidy for the most part. Firefly makes the move on Kev the Slice. Looks like some contact at the back as well. Oh, contact between King Papa and Kev the Slice. Super Sean takes the benefit and moves up into 4th place. Lots of shuffling around going on at the back there. Contact between DJ Lawson and Mohammed. Oh, who's off? Expedito goes really wide at the S's. Things are a bit chaotic in the midfield right now. They're calm at the front, though. Firefly, only 2/10 behind the Bartofor, looking to overtake him. Roberto goes into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty. Firefly, with the slipstream, with the ERS, gets past the Bartofor and into the lead. The Alpine driver coming back at him, though. He turns off the battery and has a dramatic speed loss to the RB. So the ERS button proving to be extremely powerful at this stage. There is a huge advantage when being used, and a pretty big disadvantage as well with the ERS off. Oh, Firefly goes wide. Might have been a track limits warning there. Super Sean is getting in on the action as well. After the first lap and a half, we have our heroes of lap 1. Shiv, Ishii, and Waza, the 3 drivers who invalidated their lap in the sprint qualifying, all moved up 7 places. And the biggest faller after lap 1 is Expedito, dropping 8 positions. He's down in P16. Shiv gets another move done, this time on Queasy, and he's up in the P8, making a huge surge on the opening laps of this sprint race. He's looking to get another move done now, this time on Milo. Down the inside, slight contact there with his front left and Milo's rear right tire. Thankfully, they all keep it on the road. Triz has DRS and Slipstream on Kev the Slice in front of him. He's going to breeze past Kev the Slice down the main straight and get up into 5th place. Not sure what happened with Kev there. Must have went off the track. Loses another couple of places. Shiv up in the P7 now and gaining on Milo in front. Kev the Slice is a good run on Queasy. Is he going to send it into the 3rd sector split? He doesn't. That corner was very, very tight indeed, so Kev the Slice made the smart decision to stay behind. This is one of the longest straights on the Formula One calendar. Can Shiv get past Milo from 5/10 back? He can, and he sails past the Haas driver, gaining 10 positions only on the beginning of lap 5. And crucially, at the front of the field, Firefly has picked up a track limits penalty. So he, 5/10 behind the Bartofor, will have a 3 seconds added to his time at the end of this race. Waza, DJ Lawson, and Expedito have also picked up penalties. If Firefly can find a way through, he almost did there. The Bartofor placed his car perfectly in the middle of the track there to block the RB. If he can find a way through and build up a gap, then he can still win this race, but it's looking very difficult at the moment. The Bartofor has some pretty strong pace, and Firefly has been stuck there in second place since the opening lap. He's got a good run on him now, though. He's using his hot lap battery deployment. He's got DRS. And Firefly is up into the lead. Let's see if he can build up a gap now. With that 3-second time penalty, he's got to gain quite a bit over these next few laps if he is to take the victory of the sprint race. Using all his battery, manages to stay ahead of the Bartofor down this straight. I'm going to switch to the battle between Triz and Shiv. Triz looks down the outside, but Shiv defends well, leaving no room for Triz and keeping his position. Little slide there from Shiv. Must have been a rear lockup. He managed to slow Triz down, but those won't do his tires any favors. The red light is blinking on Shiv's car. He's down to 10% ERS. Oh, King Papa on the wall! Thankfully, it was right in front of the pit lane, so he's able to dive into the pits and change his front wing. But he was running in the top 4 for the first half of this sprint race, and now he finds himself in 12th place. Firefly not only gets passed by the Bartofor, but Super Sean as well. So Super Sean, up into P2, gets his chance at going for the lead. Currently 1.7 behind the Bartofor. He needs to find some pace over these next couple laps to get back into the DRS and to overtake the Bartofor. Muhammad has retired in the pit lane, so that shouldn't be a safety car. We've got a 3-car battle for P4 here between Triz, Shiv, and Milo. Shiv currently in a Haas sandwich. He's gained quite a few positions in this race, 11 to be exact, and he continues his charge here on lap 7. Not using much battery, he has his DRS. Let's see if Milo overtakes his teammate as well. He decides to let Triz keep the position, but Shiv up 12 places now, up into P4, 6 seconds behind Sean in P3. Here we go then, Super Sean right on the tail of Firefly. He goes round the outside, Firefly backs out, and that's Super Sean back up into second place. For Firefly, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to fight Super Sean here, because Shiv is on an absolute charge behind them, and Firefly could end up losing another position to Shiv if that penalty comes into the equation. That was actually a lovely move there from Firefly around the outside. He's now back up at the second place. But the way things are going right now, Firefly is not going to catch the Bartofor, and he's going to lose the position to Super Sean either on track or with that penalty. So unless Super Sean picks up a penalty himself, if I was Firefly, I would be letting Super Sean through, seeing if he has enough pace to catch back up into the Bartofor, maybe get some help from DRS from Super Sean, and then be safe from Shiv and P4. But if Firefly thinks he has the pace and he's banking on Super Sean picking up a penalty, then by all means, go for it. Goes a little bit wide there at the stadium section. I'm not sure if he picked up another warning for cutting the inside there, but he's got almost a full battery, so he's got plenty to play with in his defense of Super Sean. Here we go then with the Red Bull in the slipstream with the DRS, looking to go round the outside into turn 1, but Firefly covers it off beautifully. Contact between the RB and the Red Bull. Firefly keeps second place, but Super Sean is going to get another helping of DRS here. Down the second straight into turn 4, down the inside. Firefly's got good speed around the outside, side by side through turn 5. Firefly cuts the corner again, picking up another penalty. Super Sean up in the second place, and now Firefly is really in trouble with Milo behind him. The gap is currently 5.1. He's got to gain at least 1 second to keep that P3. So now things are really getting out of control for Firefly. Gonna switch to Waza and P9 here. It's all over the back of Ishii in the Williams. Ishii had a big snap of oversteer there through the first part of the S's. Waza cuts the corner. Bro, definitely picked up a warning there. He's already on 3 seconds, but so is Ishii. Triz goes down the inside of Waza. Good racecraft from the McLaren and the Haas to avoid making contact through there. Firefly gets back past Super Sean. What happened there? He was quite far behind after their little scrap on lap 10, but he's managed to get back past the Red Bull. So currently the gap is literally 6.0 between Milo, and Firefly. So this is going to be very close here for Firefly's podium hopes. He's going to lose the position to Super Sean anyways, but his battle is with Milo currently. He needs to make sure that he crosses the line at least 6 seconds before Milo to keep his podium place. Oh! Shiv makes a mistake through the S's, and it has allowed Kev the Slice to be right in his gearbox. Approaching Sector 3 now. Kev the Slice has a full battery to play with. Shiv only on 40%. Let's see if Kev the Slice is able to make a move down the main straight. We're on board with Super Sean now. He's in the DRS of Firefly. He is using hot lap battery, actually. And he's going to get back past the RB. So these drivers are clearly happy to just keep swapping positions as there's some slight contact there. And Kev the Slice breezes past Shiv. So Shiv, after making his way all the way up to P4, has lost a couple positions and is now sitting in P6. And we have now started the final lap of this sprint race. The Bartofor has been absolutely dominating. He's got a 5-second gap to Super Sean behind him, and he's only got 1.5 more sectors, 1.5 more laps, half a lap, to go before you can cross the line and take victory at the sprint race. Firefly has lost some time to Super Sean, and Super Sean has picked up a penalty as well. It won't affect his finishing position, but Firefly is currently in trouble. Only 4.5 seconds between him and Milo behind. The Bartofor crosses the line to win the sprint race in Mexico. And Firefly is going to lose that position to Milo with his penalty. So Milo takes the last podium place. Triz is going to gain a couple positions here with Ishii and Waza's penalties. Now we wait for the rest of the field to cross the line. Let's see what happens here with DJ Lawson's penalty. He's got 9 seconds, so he's going to be overtaken by Blue Dark for sure. Let's see if Expedito can get him. Up to the line now. Expedito gets him as well, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Pixel Cookie or Motion God. So there it is then. The Bartofor taking victory at what was a dominant drive here at the Mexico City Grand Prix Sprint Race. Shiv picks up Driver of the Day, well deserved, gaining 10 positions in the sprint race. The Bartofor wins from pole, and behind him we have Super Sean and Milo rounding out the podium places. The rest of the grid is Firefly, Kev the Slice, Shiv, Queasy, Triz, Roberto, Ishii, Waza, King Papa, Blue Dark, Expedito, DJ Lawson, Pixel Cookie, Motion God, and Mohammed. Blue Dark, sorry, Bartofor, not Blue Dark, was the only driver to get into the 1 minute 16s in that sprint race, so that should be a good indicator of who's got the pace here today. And now we get set for the feature race qualifying here at Mexico. Gonna be watching Roberto's broadcast for this one. Currently in P17 as he goes through the first sequence of corners. Up to the line now, and it's pole position for Firefly with a 1 minute 14.939. Roberto finishes with a 1 minute 16 even. So Firefly is on pole this time, 1 minute 14.939. Going through the rest of the grid, we have the Bartofor, Shiv, King Papa, Kev the Slice, Ishi, Waza, Milo, DJ Lawson, Triz, Roberto, Queasy, Mohammed, Blue Dark, and the invalidated drivers are Motion God, Pixel Cookie, Expedito, and Super Sean, crucially, down in P18. So I am expecting Shiv to be fighting for the win in this one. He showed some great pace in the sprint race, but unfortunately couldn't fight at the front due to a poor qualifying performance. So after finishing third place in the feature race qualifying, I expect to see him fighting at the front for the main race. And now we can start the formation lap for the main race here at Mexico. So now we are going to see some variety in the tire strategy. We've got 5 drivers on the hard compound tires: Shiv, King Papa, Waza, Milo, and Queasy. The rest of the grid has opted for the mediums. Queasy and Mohammed have been disqualified, probably for making contact here on the formation lap. We are expecting medium hard or hard medium strategies. But of course, a safety car will always put a spanner in the works and will change the strategy plans of the drivers. Five red lights on ahead of the drivers, and it's lights out, and away we go. here for the Mexico City race, and Firefly has a huge snap of oversteer off the line. He's lost 2 positions now. Shiv gaining on him down into turn 1. The Bartovor in the lead. Here we go, side by side, Firefly and Shiv into turn 1. Kev the Slice has a look down the inside, makes contact with Shiv, and Wazah goes through. Wazah up in the P3 after the contact between Kev the Slice and Shiv. Shiv down into P6. Oh, we've got contact at the back between Mohammed and Pixel Cookie. We've got Roberto going off the track side by side with Expedito. And once again, carnage at the back of the field on the opening lap. All is calm at the front. However, we have the top 4 drivers separated by at least 1 second. Pixel Cookie and Motion God make their way into the pit lane. Your biggest gainer from lap 1 is Super Sean, gaining 6 positions after a poor qualifying performance. And your biggest faller from lap 1 is Kev the Slice, down 4 places, currently in P9. We already have over a 2-second gap at the front of the field, so the Bartofor is quickly running away with this one here. Got a tight battle in the midfield. We got a battle for 4th place. Ishi, DJ Lawson, Shiv, King Papa, Triz, and Kev the Slice, all within DRS of each other. There you can see the battle. All 6 cars very, very close to each other. DRS is now enabled. So Shiv is the first driver to get the benefits. Let's see if he can make up 2 positions in one corner here. He doesn't dive down the inside, but he gets past DJ Lawson. So that's Shiv up in the P5 here. He's going to get another helping of the rear wing as we go down the second straight. Ishi getting caught out on the grass there on the exit of turn 3. Shiv goes down the outside into turn 4. Ishi comes out of nowhere. Contact between the two. And Ishi lives to fight another day. He keeps his P4. King Papa looking to get past his teammate. Side-by-side contact between the Kick Saubers. DJ Lawson nearly swiping Kev the Slice off the track as he rejoined. Contact again between him and Kev the Slice. High drama here on lap 3, as DJ Lawson and King Papa make contact. Shiv goes down the inside of Ishi. Part 2 of this battle. Both these drivers trying to get as high as possible to keep their positions. Ishi does a great job defending once again, and in the process, Shiv drops 2 positions, now down in P7, side by side between Ishi and King Papa. Contact between the Williams and the Kick Sauber, and Ishi loses 2 positions back down to P6. Let's see if he can get past Triz here. Through the S's contact, Ishi loses his front wing and picks up a penalty. Cuts the corner again. He's lost his front left end plate, and that allows Kev the Slice to get past him as well. So what was a great battle has now turned into chaos here on lap 4. More contact between DJ Lawson and Shiv. The elbows are just getting pushed out further and further here. No driver wants to give up their place. Now Milo looking to get past DJ Lawson with the DRS. DJ Lawson already has an empty ERS, but somehow Milo isn't gaining on him. Must be earning a high downforce setup. Expedito comes out of nowhere. Same with Super Sean, and Milo has lost 2 positions at turn 1 here. Side by side, Kev the Slice and Triz. Good racecraft between these two. Slight wheel banging, but they both keep it on the road, and Kev the Slice has gained another position. I hate to step away from such a thrilling battle, but I do need to take a quick break. I will be back shortly. I apologize. Okay, I am back. Again, I apologize for having to step away. I had to sort something out. But we are back here on lap 19. Have the Slice currently 4/10 behind Super Sean. They both have penalties. Ishii's got 12 seconds of penalties. And DJ Lawson and Wazah have 6. But Wazah's still up in third place. Let's take a look at the pit stops. So the only drivers who haven't stopped yet are Queasy and Shiv. So Shiv is in trouble here. He's only in P4 and he hasn't made a stop yet. Queasy is the next victim of track limits. So that's a long way to go for medium tires. With Milo, King Papa, Wazah, Motion God, Firefly, and Expedito. I'm not sure if those mediums are going to make it to the end. 16 laps to go here. Not much really going on track right now. Super Sean overtakes Kev the Slice down the straight, and Milo gets past DJ Lawson down the straight. Expedito picks up another penalty, so he's now sitting on 15 seconds worth of time penalties. Little lock up there from Motion God into turn 1. Tons of penalties being handed out here on lap 22. Almost every single driver on the grid, apart from the top 2, Triz, Roberto, and Pixel Cookie, have picked up time penalties. Ishii, another penalty. He's getting close to a disqualification. 6/10 the gap between Motion God and Queasy, but like we've seen so far in this race today, the DRS down the main straight is very powerful, and you can see Motion God right on the gearbox of the RB at the end of the main straight there. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't get the exit he needs and will not have the opportunity to make a move into turn 4. Motion God runs a wee bit wide there. at the exit of the S's and picks up another penalty, making his penalty total 6 seconds. Kev the Slice gets past Triz. Super Sean is now side by side with Triz. He goes for the switchback at the exit of turn 3. Can't get the move done. And now Pixel Cookie. He does now have 3 seconds. So now there's only 4 drivers in this race without any penalties. And there's still 13 laps to go. Kev the Slice, another penalty. These S's are extremely difficult with track limits. Super Sean decides to lift as he was gaining on Triz there, heading into the final sector. Got yellow flags in sector 2. Super Sean with another solid exit coming out of the final corner. He's going to overtake Triz. And Triz does not have the DRS, so Super Sean is safe down the main straight. We've got a car off in the middle sector. It's Firefly. What has happened to Firefly? After being... Oh, and he locks the rears. After starting on pole, Firefly is now plumb last. So everyone has now made their stops. Shiv comes out of the pits in P10. 9/10 behind his teammate. Firefly retires in the pits. He's got a long way to go. Shiv has 37 seconds to the Barteau 4. And his teammate Roberto is going to let him through here in the middle sector. Shiv sets the purple middle sector, so he does have the pace at this stage, but 37 seconds is a huge gap, and that's going to be extremely difficult to make up in these last 11 laps. So we can already see Shiv gaining on Motion God in front of him. He gained 1.5 seconds through the first half of this lap, and we have a safety car. I'm not sure why the safety car has been deployed. King Papa and everyone behind him dives into the pits. I think the Barteau 4 passed the pit lane. Barteau 4 passed the pit lane right when the safety car was deployed. This is the worst case scenario possible for the Barteau 4. Everyone behind him is going to be on fresh tires, and he's on 15-lap-old hards. I think he has no choice but to pit now. But if he does pit, he's going to be at the back of the grid. He's going to be at the back of the field. So the timing of that safety car couldn't have been worse for the Barteau 4. He's been absolutely dominating this race. And here on lap 26, he is going to get the short end of the stick here. I think with the with that 34 second gap, he's gonna come into the pits. He might keep track position because all the cars around him are driving slower, but if he loses positions from this safety car, then that is not ideal at all for the Alpine driver. I think he's going to be okay, actually. I overreacted a little bit. But that could have been very, very bad for the Bartol 4. Interestingly, though, Bartol 4 has opted for the soft compound tires, and almost everyone else has gone for the mediums. So the Bartol 4 is going to have the pace. At the beginning of the stint, but we're gonna see if he has a disadvantage in pace by the last few laps. I think the Bartol 4 made the right call here. By the time the safety car comes in, it will most likely be at the end of this lap. So they will have 8 laps. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 of 8 laps. And the soft tires should last at least 8 laps. So the Bartol 4 should be okay here, but the 9-second gap that he had previously to King Papa has now vanished. So if King Papa can find some pace, he can put a threat to the race win here in the late stages. So the safety car isn't coming in this lap. We're going to have one more lap under safety car conditions, meaning we're only going to get 7 laps of racing. So the safety car is coming in this lap. We're on lap 29 of 36, about to start lap 30. Expedito gets a 10-second penalty, Motion Guard gets a 3-second penalty, and the Bartol has put his foot down here, and he's got a pretty good gap between him and King Papa here. 5/10. King Papa is gaining, though, in the slipstream. Wazza has crazy overspeed. He's going to go for it down to turn 1. I'm not sure how much sense this is going to make with this penalty, and he made contact with Super Sean, so I'm sure that's going to be a report from King Papa. There was no need for Wazza to go for the move there with his penalty. And there's carnage at turn 4 here at the restart. What is going on? More contact. Yeah, without that contact at turn 1, King Papa might have had a chance at overtaking the Bartol. And like I said, with 9 seconds of time penalties, there should be absolutely no reason for making a move into turn 1 there. At least at the opening stages, if you see that you have the pace, then I guess it's okay. But fighting another driver who can potentially win a race, that's where I would draw the line. And I'm sure King Papa was furious about that attempt to pass and the contact that occurred. "24 seconds for Ishii, 16 seconds for Triz and Expedito." There's going to be huge amounts of position changing by the time we cross the line with all these penalties. The only 2 drivers without penalties are King Papa and the Bartol, who now have a 3-second gap between them. The Bartol sets the fastest lap of this race, 1 minute 16.3. Wazza using his battery, but he doesn't have enough to keep up with Kev the Slice down the straight here. "34 seconds. Yeah, you must have got a 10-second penalty there. I am shocked how that is not a disqualification. Sometimes you get it in the 20s, but yeah, I mean, he's at the back of the grid now. 34 seconds of penalties. Only 4 laps to go, so he could keep going for the fun of it if he wants, but there is nothing to be gained from where he is currently. We have a nice little scrap going on here for fourth place. Points are points, that is true. Here in DER, we hand out points for all the finishing drivers. So, being in P15, Ishii will pick up, I want to say 5 or 6 points. I think 6 points. And now King Papa has picked up a penalty, so the only driver who is yet to fall to the track limits is the Bartol 4. And Ishii has been disqualified from this race. He picked up another time penalty in the third sector, which would have given him a total of 37 seconds. And as a result, he has been disqualified. Oh, big slide from Super Sean there. I'm not sure what happened. Kev the Slice is a good run on him, and he's going to get the move done. Kev the Slice up into P4. So they are now starting lap 35. 2 laps to go. Wazaa having a look at Super Sean. Down the inside, making contact with Kev the Slice. That was a bit ambitious there. Thankfully, all the drivers were able to keep it on the road. And legal or not, he does get that move done. We got Triz right on the gearbox of Super Sean. He does have 16 seconds of penalties, so there isn't really much he could do here. There isn't really much he should do here because, like I said earlier, I'm sure there's going to be lots of reports if a driver with ample penalties tries to make an overtake, because really it's just ruining the defending car's race. And Triz seems to be respectful about it here, not going for the move. So it looks like he's going to lose the place to DJ Lawson, Milo, and Roberto as well with those penalties. And he does go for the move now. Here on the last lap of the race, another slide from Super Sean. That car does not seem happy at all. I'm not sure if that's floor damage or rear wing damage or what, but that does not look ideal for Super Sean. The tail wagging like crazy on that Red Bull. The Bartol Ford comes across the line to win the Mexico City Grand Prix. King Papa comes home in second place. Shiv P3, Kev the Slice P4, Super Sean P5, Wazaa, Milo, DJ Lawson, Triz. Roberto jumps 2 places up in the P8 with Triz's penalty. Expedito being followed by Motion God, coming home in 11th and 12th on the track. They will be reversed after penalties. Up to the line comes Queasy now. I think he's going to overtake Expedito as well. And maybe Pixel Cookie too. And he does. Super Sean gets driver of the day. I'm not sure what to really make of that one. Obviously, I did miss a few laps there in the middle of the race, but yeah, the beginning was very entertaining. Lots of battles, quite a bit of contact too, actually. But then the final stages just didn't really look like much was happening. Then the safety car came out, and yeah, almost almost ruined the Bartol race. But he takes victory anyways. Another dominant showing from the Bartol 4, winning both the sprint and the race. And a lot of penalties too for the drivers here today. So not their best race, that's for sure. Bartol 4 wins with the fastest lap, 1 minute 16.380. The rest of the podium, we got King Papa and Shiv. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Kev the Slice, Super Sean, Wazad, Milo, Roberto, DJ Lost, Triz, Motion God, Pisco Cookie, Queasy, Expedito, Firefly, Mohammed, Blue Dark, and Ishi. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.